What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the MaddenBallerz YouTube channel and our Georgia State Dynasty. The 2016 college football season is here and Georgia State is heading on the road in week 1 to face off against the Kentucky Wildcats. And we have a nice returning team here, at least on offense. David Reynolds at quarterback, Derek Romero at running back, Mark Moore and David Bailey at wide receiver are all returning, and the new transfer that had to sit out a year, Marcus Jackson, is here as well, which will be our #1 receiver. Looks like we have a rainy game today. We'll see how this goes as we send it down to the field.
In the blue ground.
The 2016 college football season is underway, and Georgia State will start out with a ball on offense, and they're trying to emulate what they did late last year where their offense came alive here. They have a lot of returning players, and David Reynolds hits a guy for a 9-yard pass in the first play. Next play, it's a handoff to Derek Romero for 9 yards, and on 2nd and 1, Reynolds will look to fake the handoff there. He's going to throw on the run and hit Derek Romero, but he is wrapped up before he can get the first down. No gain on the play. 3rd and 1, handoff to Romero up the middle. He fights his way forward for 2 yards. And if this passing game can be as good as the running game was last year, we should have a pretty good offense, as this pass goes to David Bailey and a nice one-handed grab for 7 yards on the play there. Later on in the drive, it's 1st and 10 in Wildcat territory. Reynolds back to pass, and he hits Sebastian Willard, and he is hit hard but hangs on to the ball. An 8-yard gain. And how big was Sebastian Willard last year on this offense? As David Reynolds gets hit and fumbles the ball, but it's picked up by Evans, the lineman, and that's a loss of 9 yards. 3rd and 14. Reynolds back to pass here. He's pressured, and he's hit and gets rid of the ball just before he's hit, and it falls incomplete. And Georgia State would have to punt. The Wildcats take over here, 1st and 10. Whitlow takes over. He runs it, and he is sacked for a loss by Tanner Strickland. And that is a new school record for Tanner Strickland. His first sack of the season and his 26th sack of his career. As this pass on 2nd 11 goes to Drew Smith for 12 yards and a first down for Kentucky. 3rd and inches now. Whitlow will take this on the read option up the middle. He's got the first down and more. But wait, there's a flag on the play, and it will be clipping on Kentucky. This one will come back, setting up a 3rd and 8. And out of the shotgun, Whitlow will hand off to Brown on the draw, and he is brought down 3 yards short of the first down, and Kentucky will have to punt. Georgia State takes over here, 3rd and 8. Reynolds out of the shotgun here. He's going to look to pass. He's going to fire over the middle, and he did not see the lineman, Spearman, and he's got the interception. He's going to return this one to the 33-yard line of Georgia State, and that's where Kentucky would take over. 2nd and 10. Whitlow out of the shotgun here looking to pass. He's going to throw to the right side. It's caught by Drew Smith. He's going to stiff arm his way to a first down, and that is how the first quarter would end. This game is tied at 0 apiece. Second quarter will start with the Kentucky just outside the red zone here. Whitlow to pass on 1st and 10, but he's going to take off instead and get the first down and more. Taken down at the 5-yard line, setting up 1st and goal. And the Wildcats will, on 1st and goal out of the shotgun, Whitlow will take it on the read option. No one in front of him, easing into the end zone for the touchdown to put Kentucky up 7-0 over Georgia State. And we're going to put a QB spy on Whitlow there if we want to stop him in this game. Georgia State and Reynolds take over. He tries to take it on the QB read option, but he's stopped for a 1-yard loss in the backfield, or a 3-yard loss. 3rd and 14 now. Reynolds to pass deep. This one's caught by David Bailey just before midfield. And I think that one was intended for Mark Moore, but Bailey was there to bail him out. Bailey, bail him out. Get it? Reynolds back to pass on 1st and 10. This one's going deep over the middle to Mark Moore for a first down, 19-yard reception on the play into Kentucky territory. Reynolds now passing deep on 1st and 10 to Marcus Jackson, the transfer. His first game for the Panthers goes good so far. 25-yard gain on that play. First and goal, handoff goes to Derek Romero. He's going to try to get the edge, but he's taken down by his ankles right before the goal line. 3rd and goal, handoff to Culver up the middle, but he is pushed backwards for a 3-yard loss. That would set up 4th and goal and a field goal attempt by Smith. The kick is up and good, and Georgia State cuts the lead to 7-3. Kentucky takes over here. Whitlow to pass on the first play of the drive, and that one's deep to Austin Sheehan for 31 yards into Georgia State territory, just like that on one play. 1st and 10, Whitlow back to pass, trying to set up the screenplay, but it's snuffed out, and Tanner Strickland's going to get his 2nd sack of the day, an 8-yard loss. Later on in the drive, it's 3rd and 26. Whitlow back to pass deep, and it's dropped by the Austin Sheehan, but there's a flag on the play. This is going to be a 15-yard roughing the passer penalty and an automatic 1st down. 3rd down and 10 now. Whitlow setting up the screen here to Brown, who gets it, but is stopped for a 2-yard loss, setting up 4th and 12 here for Kentucky as they attempt a long field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is wide left. No good, and it stays 7-3 in favor of Kentucky. Georgia State takes over here with just under 2 minutes to go in the half. This pass is intended for Marcus Jackson, and he drops it. Should have had that catch. 3rd and 10, Reynolds back to pass now, looking over the middle, and this one's caught by Mark Moore for 16 yards and a 1st down near midfield. 3rd and 6 now for the Panthers. Reynolds back to pass. This one's going to Mark Moore, and he drops it. He had the comeback route, and he just thought too many steps ahead of himself. But on 4th and 6, the offense comes out for Georgia State, and the pass goes to David Bailey as he jumps up to get that 11-yard reception and a 1st down for Georgia State. 23 seconds to go. Reynolds to pass to the sideline to Sebastian Willer, and he's got that catch at the 6-yard line, out of bounds for a 15-yard gain. And Reynolds and Sebastian Willer have come up big early on in this game in the 1st half. And on 2nd and goal here, Reynolds under center. He will pitch the ball to Lamont George, and he will try to get his way into the end zone. He fights his way forward for 4 yards, just short of the goal line. 3rd and goal now from the 2. Handoff to George up the middle. He will gain another yard there, but still short of the goal line. 4th and goal. We decide to go for it to get the lead before half. Handoff goes to Thompson up the middle, and Lawrence Thompson is stuffed short of the goal line at halftime. It's 7-3 in favor of Kentucky. Kentucky takes a 7-3 lead into the 3rd quarter, and they will start out on offense. Whitlow will look to pass, but he takes off instead, and he will stiff arm his way to a Kentucky 1st down. But wait, there's a flag on the play, and it would be clipping, setting up 3rd and 11. And Whitlow looking to pass. The pass goes deep to the sideline and broken up by Jerome Schroeder. And we will look at the halftime stats here. You can see Georgia State has the lead in offensive yards and time of possession, but they do have a turnover, and they do not have the lead. Georgia State's first offensive possession here in the 2nd half. 3rd and 1, handoff to Derek Romero up the middle, fights his way forward for a 1st down and more. 8 yards on the ground for that one. 1st down and 10 now. Reynolds will fake the handoff here. He's going to scramble out to the right. He will set his feet, fire, and it's caught by David Bailey down to the 1-yard line. A 28-yard reception sets Georgia State at the 1-yard line, and on 1st and goal, handoff goes to Lawrence Thomas into the end zone for the touchdown to put Georgia State up 10-7 over Kentucky here. Kentucky's 2nd possession of this 3rd quarter. Whitlow to pass to Drew Smith, and he breaks a tackle out past the 40, finally taken down right before midfield. 1st down and 10 now for the Wildcats. Whitlow to pass to Sheehan here, and Austin Sheehan has an 8-yard catch. Later on in the drive, it's 3rd and 7 for the Wildcats. Whitlow back to pass here. He's looking, he has to throw this one away as he felt the pressure coming. And that would set up 4th down and 7. And a long field goal attempt by the Wildcats to tie this game up is up and good. And this game is tied at 10 apiece. Georgia State takes over now for their 2nd possession of the 3rd quarter. Reynolds back to pass here, firing deep and caught by Marcus Jackson as he walks out of bounds there for 18 yards. 3rd and 19 now. Reynolds setting up the screenplay to Derek Romero, and that one is snuffed out for a 3-yard loss, and Georgia State would have to punt. Kentucky takes over here with under 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The pass goes to Drew Smith over the middle, and he is in Panther territory after that 17-yard reception. 3rd and 7 now. Whitlow setting up the screen to Brown, and good blocking ahead of him has him inside the 30, finally pushed out of bounds at the 19-yard line after a 25-yard reception. First down and 10 now. Whitlow back to pass again. This one's caught by Austin Sheehan for 9.5 yards. 3rd and 1 now for the Wildcats. Whitlow will keep this one himself on the QB option, and he is down at the 4-yard line. 1st and goal to go for the Wildcats. Whitlow trying to use the read option again, but is stuffed in the backfield for a 4-yard loss. And at the end of 3 quarters, this game is tied up at 10 apiece. Kentucky has 3rd and goal to start the 4th quarter here, tied at 10 apiece. Whitlow back to pass out of the shotgun, and it's fired to the end zone and caught, but he was out of bounds. He couldn't get a foot down. Instead, Kentucky settles for a short field goal attempt. The kick is up, and it is good. And Kentucky takes a 13-10 lead as Georgia State gets their first opportunity in the 4th quarter on offense. Reynolds back to pass in 2nd and 9. That one's intended for Marcus Jackson, but it was broken up, almost intercepted. 3rd down and 9 now. Reynolds back to pass once again. He'll fire for Jackson again, but it is offline, and Georgia State has to punt. Kentucky takes over. 3rd down and 9. Whitlow out of the shotgun here. He will look to pass, and he will not get the pass off as he is sacked on the play by Quincy Randolph, and Kentucky has to punt. 3rd down and 10 now for Georgia State as they have taken over. Pass over the middle is broken up by Casey Scott, and Georgia State has to punt. And we're going back and forth here as Kentucky has the ball in Georgia State territory on 3rd and 16. This pass by Whitlow goes deep and incomplete over the head of his receiver, and Kentucky has to punt. Just over 2 minutes to go now. Georgia State has the ball. 1st down and 10. This pass goes to David Bailey over the middle for 13 yards and a Georgia State 1st down. 3rd down and 4 now for the Panthers. Reynolds over the middle to David Bailey once again up towards midfield. Good for 10 yards and another 1st down. 1st down and 10 now for Georgia State. Reynolds back to pass once again. This one goes to Marcus Jackson. That one's good for 13 yards and another 1st down. Under a minute to go here. 3rd down and 10. Reynolds looking to pass out of the shotgun, firing for Mark Moore, but it is incomplete, setting up 4th down, and Georgia State would go for it. The field goal attempt would be too far out from here. Reynolds over the middle, he passes, and it is picked off by Vincent for Kentucky, and they take over with 41 seconds to go on 1st down and 10. Handoff to Brown. He cuts outside here, breaks a tackle, gets past midfield, and is finally pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line. You think that's all but put this game away. They would settle for a field goal on 4th and 5. The kick would be up and good, making it 16-10. Georgia State would get one last shot here. 19 seconds left. 1st down and 10. Reynolds back to pass. He's going to fire deep over the middle, intended for Mark Moore, but he drops it. He could have had it. 3rd down and 10 now for Georgia State. Reynolds passing out of the shotgun once again. He fires this one deep, and it is caught by Marcus Jackson with 3 seconds left. Georgia State would hurry up to the line here with 3 seconds. This is the last shot here. Reynolds out of the shotgun here, dropping back very deep, firing over the middle, and it's caught by Sebastian Willard, but he is tackled after a 23-yard reception, and that would end this game here as Georgia State cannot get the comeback here as Garrett Dooley gets your player of the game for the Kentucky Wildcats, and Georgia State loses their season opener on the road to Kentucky with a final score of 16-10. Maybe they should have kicked that field goal at the end of the 2nd half. That would have set them up in better position here in this game. But nonetheless, they end up losing 16-10 to Kentucky, a tough SEC team. Taking a look at the stats from today's game, Georgia State passed the ball very well, throwing for 291 yards on the day, but the 2 turnovers we had cost us the game. Looking at your players of the game for Georgia State, Marcus Jackson, 6 catches, 101 yards. Tanner Strickland, 5 tackles, all for a loss, an assist, and 3 sacks on the day. And now we will go ahead and look at our recruiting board here, and it is in order, especially the top part of who we really want and who we want to get here. And you can see we want to go after, our main priority is defensive tackle here, and guard and tackle position, and we really want to try to get some 3 for maybe even a 5-star player on this team. So some of these people may not be sticking around. I'm trying to go out on a limb here and put some points for a couple weeks on some people, but we may not get them. So we'll see where that ends up, and I will highlight some players in other episodes as far as positions we are looking to recruit. Next up, we have UTSA at home, our home opener in Week 2. They have not played a game yet. We are 0-1. If you like this episode, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode.